going on YouTube? It is Marathon Business Leads back at it again with another video, and today I'm dropping a video. So if you care about my channel, if you've been thinking where I've been or I want to see his beautiful face, I have dropped another video and we're back, and we might be more consistent than ever because I have entered a passion of mine that I love, right? And my passion is jewelry. I love jewelry. I've always been wearing jewelry, always purchased jewelry. It's never been a day where I've been without a piece of jewelry on. So I say all that to say is that I'm starting to make rings, give you the process of what's been happening. Now, if I was thinking using my brain, I would have took my camera with me and go pick up what I had to pick up, but I wasn't thinking then, right? Because I wasn't for sure if I was going to put this out there. But today was a big day for me. Today I picked up my mold. It took them a few weeks to make it. They made an error, they fixed it. The only gripe I have is they did not send me pictures of the finished work. No, it's in a Dropbox. You put in your passcode, you pick up your item. But what if it was messed up, or what if it wasn't done the correct way? And now I can't talk to nobody because you put it in the Dropbox. That's why it's good to send pictures of the work first, so I'm able to approve it, right? That's what normally people do. They send you the work before they actually mail it off, or they tell you to come pick it up. They send you pictures so you can approve the work if it's up to your specifications, blah blah blah. But they did say they made an error, they fixed it, and they made it. They told me that they was going to send the pictures, but they did not send the pictures. So I don't know what that was about. But I picked up the item and it looked good. I have some pictures of it because with the mold, the resin, you don't want to be touching all over it because it leaves oils and stuff like that, and it may damage the mold. Now if you do touch it, you want to wear some gloves. Now when I originally picked up the item, I touched it but without gloves, but you're not supposed to do that. And if you do handle it raw, you want to make sure that your hands are clean. You want to make sure your hands are clean, and you want to not touch it for a long time. But if you do touch it, wear some gloves that does not have the powder. But I will be showing a picture of my mold. To me, it came out beautiful. And if you have interest and you want to purchase the item, you can. Just either going to be on a website or it's going to be on like Instagram. I feel like Instagram is kind of the new website, to be honest, in my opinion, but I see. But yeah, so this is the first stage of the process. Now I will say that I overpaid for the actual mold. I overpaid, right? All right, so in the process, I thought I was getting the mold done and the casting done for that price, but it was a misunderstanding on that part. So when you're doing business, you want to make sure that you understand everything. Been in talks with some other jewelers, and like I say, the entry into this jewelry business is kind of hard. You got some people that pretend like, oh, I don't do casting, sorry, I don't do casting. And then you got some people who won't cast the item if you didn't go do step 8 with them. Like the design process, your STL file, the mold. Like, they want to do that all at one time, right? So they can make more money, right? If they do the resin part, they do the casting of the precious metal, that's more money for them to make. So I made some calls, and I had one who was iffy about working with me. She was like, I really don't do just the casting by itself. I do the complete job. But, that's what I have been experiencing now. I'm supposed to meet with this person soon. So we're going to see if I get this thing cast or not in precious metal. If not, we just gonna have to keep going to every jewelry store who does this, right? We're gonna have to keep going if we want to get our foot in the jewelry business. I feel like the jewelry business is one of the best businesses, because if you have overstock, you can always melt it. You can always make some type of money off of something, whether you got dust, you got old jewelry that you haven't sold or you haven't used. It's a wonderful business if you able to get in the business. Now, what most people do is they want to start off with the chains. They want to make chains, right? But if you got limited funds, the chains are expensive. And if you go overseas to try to get your work done, you got to go through the back and forth. You got to prove to them that you do jewelry, you are a jeweler, or whatever it is. You got to go with the back and forth. They might give you an outrageous fee. And I just don't like all the back and forth. But you can, and I have done, is I have spoke with some people that gave me a good pricing on what I want made in the future. But anyway, the jewelry business is a beautiful business, and if you got the will to do it, you can make it happen. And I feel like the best thing to start off with is bracelets or rings. Like, it doesn't cost that much to make a ring, design a ring. So I'm starting off with rings and bracelets. I might do a few bracelets. I might even do a few pieces of necklaces as well, because I might have the budget to do it. So I'm doing that, but my main thing right now is rings, and I'll probably produce a bracelet, design a bracelet, or whatever it is, and we're gonna put it up for sale, right? So that's the journey right now. I got my mold done. Now I can go and buy the printer and do it myself. It's only like $400 to $500, and I could just print the molds out myself. And if push come to shove, I'll just send my casting to the jewelry market in LA and just call somebody from LA, see if they could get it done. But I want it home based, because I don't want to have to wait in the mail. I don't want to have to be bothered with insurance or my package being stolen, or it didn't show up to their address or whatever it is. So I'm trying to get it done home based, and that's what we hoping for. So if I gotta go to every jeweler up and down the street, I will, until I get what I want, and hopefully I get a fair price, because you know how it is. They may jack up the fees on you because you new. They haven't seen you before. They haven't done business with you before. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get this channel up to 500. That's the goal, and we take it from there. And like I said, this channel has always been about being an entrepreneur, starting businesses, and some things happen. So I'm like, yo, I got the passion for jewelry. I love jewelry. I know about jewelry. I could talk about jewelry all day. I educated myself on the jewelry business, so I know how to move. I know how to maneuver. I know how to get the product. I know how to get things done. It's just what you need the money to do it, right? So we gonna take these small steps and build it up and see what we get. And if we able to make money, then we able to make money. Now, first piece of jewelry that I ever sold was a Cuban necklace. I sent over the files. They made the file. They made the jewelry for me. I got it back, put it on eBay, and it sold immediately. And the thing about starting off in the jewelry business is, if you want to succeed in eBay, you might have to drop your prices a tad just to get those good feedbacks, right? So if you spend a certain amount of money on a chain or a bracelet, you might can drop the prices down if you don't have a bunch of feedback. Because usually if you don't have feedback, people are not gonna want to buy it from you. So maybe you buy something on your eBay account, you get that feedback. You put something, you sell something, you put that on feedback. I sold watches before, so I'm into that as well. I like watches. I always been a big connoisseur of brands and timepieces. So I sold on eBay before. I go to pawn shops. I was every day, and I look to find out what they got. I buy it. If I know that I'm able to make money off the watches, I buy it. I put it up for sale, and they fly out. Even the low budget Timexes, I flipped those too. Now those took a minute to flip, but I flipped them. So even if you don't have tons of money, you can go to Walmart. You can find these timepieces on sale, and you can put them up for eBay. Now, remember that eBay charges fees, so you got to think about that. So you may have to up the fee a little bit, but yeah, that's my journey for right now. I got the mold done. Now I'm just looking for a bench jeweler to cast it, a person who manufactures jewelry where I live. I have in contact with one. I really want to work with this person. I talked to them twice. My mold was not ready, so I had to wait on them to make the mold, and then I got back in contact with him, talked to him on the phone. I told him I sent him an email. I'm able to meet with him. We make an appointment. I haven't heard anything back. So with this guy, if I really want to work with him, I'm gonna have to blow his phone up. And if he doesn't push, then I got somebody else that may do the job for me because of repeat business, right? You make my molds, you make whatever you got to do, and we make money, you make money. So but yeah, that sums everything up. Once I go to my next part of the journey, you will be with me, and we're gonna be more consistent on YouTube, whether it be the jewelry videos, the reaction videos. I might even do some streaming. Who knows, man? But we gotta get this elevation up, man. We gotta get this channel up, and we gotta get the jewelry business up. So I'm out of here on that. Peace. I'm smarter than I look and sound, bitch.
Yellow